Hello guys, welcome to another video. I'm sorry I couldn't post a video yesterday because I was caught up in some work. But yeah, I made use of my Sunday, so I'm gonna post today. And yeah, it'll all be balanced because on Sundays I will not be posting any videos. So even if I miss a day, I will get to cover it. So yeah, let us begin with. So, uh, Today was the third and the last lecture of the chapter one of our ethics, which is ethics and human interface. Whatever I learned today, I will now begin with. Firstly, I read about Immanuel Kant, and basically, he gave two ideas. The first is categorical imperative, which includes three parts. Another is about the teleology, which is when you focus on the duty, which I haven't said in the earlier video, which is deontology, which means that you emphasize on the duty and not your result. So Kant supported this idea, and the CI1, which is categorical imperative of Kant, states that ethical is anything which is universally acceptable is ethical, which means that the notions which are universally accepted, for example, love, that is universally accepted. So that is considered as ethical. Whatever is universally unacceptable, let's just say stealing is unacceptable in our society, so that is considered as unethical. Another, the categorical imperative 2 of Immanuel Kant is treating human as end in themselves and not merely as a means, which basically means that people tend to use another people for their achieving their end, which according to Kant's categorical imperative second, it is considered as unethical. Ethical is when you treat a human being as an end, not merely as a mean. So yeah, that is CI2. Then deontology is something which means that you emphasize on your duty. You do not care about your results. You only care about your duty. So that uh, raises a question that if we take an example of a destitute lady who needs the benefits provided by the government but lacks the documentation which she needs, but as an officer you can clearly see that she is really in need of those resources which the government are providing. If you follow deontology, you will just do your duty and simply tell her that to arrange the documents, otherwise she will not receive the benefits. But if you are super erogatory in nature, you will go beyond your duty to help her either arrange the documents that she needs, or you verify on your own that she is really in need of those resources. So at times deontology can raise questions on ethical standards, but yeah, here is what it means. Now, if we look at absolute, deontology is divided into two uh, parts. One is absolutism, which only and only focuses on doing your duty, not on result. Another is relativism, which says that you also focus on your result, but your main focus should be on your duty. And then another, which is consequentialism, which is apart from or maybe opposite of the deontology, which is also known as teleology. I'm sorry that in the starting of the video I said that Kant follows teleology. It is not, but he follows deontology. Now, consequentialism, it consists many theories. So the first one is pragmatic theory. It says that any action which is performed through experience is ethical. It does not rely on intentions. Then again, Mohist consequentialism or state consequentialism, it says that any action which provide benefit to the state is ethical. So, for example, we can take the for example, we can take the demonetization. It caused the general public inconvenience, but it was better for our state, our government. So it can be considered ethical according to Mohist consequentialism. Then there is the theory of ethical egoism, which is very absurd. It says that anything is ethical if it benefits you. You should do any action which is beneficial for you, even if it means killing someone or stealing. So, it is within itself very unethical, which is obvious. But yeah, this theory was given by Annie Rand. So I believe that this is very absurd theory. Then again, oh, let me correct it. It is psychological egoism, which says that it is in the nature of human being to be selfish. So anything is ethical if it is in the nature of human. The major difference between ethical egoism and psychological egoism is that ethical egoism said that you should be selfish, but psychological egoism states that human being by nature are selfish. Then there is the theory of ethical altruism, which says that any action which benefits others than you is ethical. Then there is utilitarianism, which was given by J.S. Mill, and it says that if the action is causing greatest good for the greater number of people, then that action is ethical. Then I learned about social ethics, which talked about communitarianism, which means that ethical standards are, different for different individuals, and anything that benefits the community, the society, is ethical. Then your autonomy versus others, right? Which is basically again what we learned in the first lecture, which was your right versus the right thing to do. So it is a similar concept. Then there is knower doer split. Knower doer split basically means that when you're performing an action and you know that it is wrong, so when you're performing the wrong action, you become the doer. But you know that it is a wrong action. So you know that is you become a knower. So when you do contradictory to your thoughts, to your ideas, to your principles, then this phenomena is considered as knower doer split, and it can be used in the case studies. Then there is the doctrine of double effect, which basically says that any action can be either positive or negative, but it is considered ethical if the intention was not negative. If your intention was positive, but the outcome was negative, it will not be considered as unethical. Instead, according to the doctrine of double effect, it will be considered as ethical even if the negative outcome was foreseen. For example, if you're an army personnel and you see a terrorist, and he's a very well-known terrorist, which the army is trying to you know catch from the past 20 years, and he's in public, and you know well that there can be the positive outcome that you kill him, and there can be negative outcome of killing a civilian. So in that case, you should take your shot, fire at the terrorist. If it happens, that is good, but even if it doesn't, that is considered as ethical according to the knower doers I'm sorry, according to the doctrine of double effect. Then also the knower doer split was given by Dayanand Saraswati, and the doctrine of karma. So the doctrine of karma says that any action that you perform will have a reaction. If you perform good, you will receive good things. If you do not, then you will receive bad things, which is, I believe, a very common known phenomena in our society. Everybody knows about the doctrine of karma. So you can use it in case studies and section A as well. Yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. and I will post tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.